Hello, everyone. It's Tracy Malone from narcissistabusesupport.com. Today, I am talking to my estranged parents, and I'm going to try to explain to you how gaslighting is used in estrangement. You hear these crazy things, you know they're lies, but they're actually more than lies because they are gaslighting. And while gaslighting's a big word, um, most people don't actually know it when they hear it. So today I thought I would use some of the notes from my classes that I teach. So I might be looking down and reading a little more, but it's really important information because once you see that, oh my God, that was gaslighting, there's this release of guilt because that's what they're trying to do, guilt and shame you and shut you down. So when you see the tactics and go, oh my God, they're doing it again, it hurts less, just a little bit less, right? So I want to start with a story that I tell in my groups that is a gaslighting story that happened to me. And this was with my ex-husband. And when we first got married, he had all these like American Express points. And we had just moved. And so he used them and ordered $100 Home Depot cards. And I'm going to guess 12, 13 of them. It was quite a lot of $100 cards. And so he showed them to me and he put them next to his bed in the FedEx envelope they came in. I'm organized. I label things. I laminate things. I file things. I'm kind of cuckoo about organization most of the time. So for him to then turn around and say that I lost the Home Depot dollars, we called it that instead of gift cards. I was like, I didn't do it. I proclaimed I didn't touch them. You had them. I never touched them. And it just became this thing. And I believe I was gang gaslit because his entire family started to just take that dialogue, that accusation, and call me the one who forgets everything, the one who can't be responsible, even though he couldn't even like pay a bill. I was the one that, because I was being gaslit, I lost those Home Depot dollars. I swear to you, they would have been in the safe if I had ever touched them other than him showing me that they arrived. I would have been to Home Depot and bought the stuff we got the cards for. That's not who I am. So the years went by, and I'm talking 10 years of marriage, and I fought it. And I said, no, that's not what happened. You know, I didn't touch them. But it didn't matter. Him and his family continued to tell me that I was the irresponsible one. That remember the Home Depot dollars, Tracy? That's what they would say. And I would be like, that wasn't even true, but you're blaming me and now kind of calling me the forgetful, unorganized one. 10 years and I finally acquiesced. I fought back and then I finally was like, all right, fine, whatever. I can't stop four of them attacking me and telling me years later that I lost the Home Depot dollars and therefore was not the trustworthy one. That is a really good example of what gaslighting looks like. I'm confused. I don't understand it. You're lying and telling me I did something I know I didn't do. But then that constant repetition, and that's part of gaslighting. It's not just once, it will keep on going until you acquiesce. And so I put together some of the examples that I teach in my groups. And I wanted you to understand and hear what they sound like because I can guarantee you probably heard them before. So let's start with withholding. Okay. So this is when the adult child or partner refuses to engage in honest conversations and shuts down the parent's attempt to clarify or express themselves. So let's use this as an example. I don't want to talk about the past anymore. You're trying to manipulate me with your tears. That's what they're saying. But the purpose is to silence the parent's voice. And it's framed as unhealthy communication and it's manipulation, right? So that one sounds familiar. Now there's one called countering. Countering is where they question your memory of events. This is Home Depot dollars, right? So, saying something like, that's not how it happened, or you're always twisting things to make yourself look better. Again, who's twisting what? The purpose is to undermine the parent's confidence in their own lived experience. You saw what you saw, you heard what you heard, and they're denying it, right? So here's blocking and diverting. This one is where they derail conversations to avoid accountability by changing the subject or deflecting blame to you. So here's the examples. Uh, you're just upset because Val doesn't want to talk to you. Or where did you get that idea? From your therapist again? So the purpose of this is to avoid any resolution while making the parent seem like the unstable or irrational one. I'm the forgetful one in my story, right? There's always a purpose to make you feel this way or teach your child lies about you with this background data. Let's go to the next one. Trivializing. They downplay the parent's pain, questions, or emotions. And so here's the example. You're seriously upset over a text I didn't reply to? Why are you making such a big deal out of your boundary? This makes the parent feel silly, ashamed for having needs and emotions. The next one is forgetting and denial. This is where they claim to not remember past promises or behaviors. This is like total denial. You've heard it. I know you have. I never said that. I didn't say we would meet for lunch. I didn't cut you off. You just stopped showing up. You'll have your own version of that. Think these things through. That's the whole purpose of me teaching this to you today. Because if you start to see by these examples, yeah, ours wasn't this. It was somewhere between Home Depot dollars and these things that they've lied to you. Um, then there are phrases that common gaslighting phrases. And so here's something, right? I wouldn't have cut you off if you hadn't disrespected my boundaries. How many estranged parents are accused of not honoring boundaries that no one told them about? These are like invisible boundaries, but this is what they do, right? So the translation of that, your fault, you caused the estrangement, not me, right? This shifts the blame and encourages the parent to self-blame and gobble up the blame and responsibility and second guess their actions. This is what gaslighting is. It's really sick. It is like one of the gateway forms of abuse. And you have to understand that your child, just like me as a victim to my ex-husband, your child experiences the same gaslighting that we're talking about here. Your child's going, oh, my parents didn't say that. And then they get the gaslit and the repetition of whatever they're accusing you of until they, like I did with the Home Depot dollars, acquiesce and just go, okay, fine. I guess I'm not going to fight you. If they've probably been fighting the narcissist repeatedly to try to keep you in your life, keep you in their life. All right, here's another one. You're twisting everything I say to make yourself into the victim. Very narcissistic, right? The translation means that you're not allowed to have a perspective and that your behavior is hurtful, right? And this invalidates the parent's emotions, perspective of the abuse and the manipulation. You're not allowed to see what's happening. Here's another one. You know how we feel about Val and that you still let her come to our wedding. That's on you. This action justifies permanent punishment. You knew how we felt. I bet you guys have heard that. And you did it anyway. This implies the parents chose the consequence. What? That's what it means. That's why they do it. Like it's creepy to even think that they're smart enough to do this, but they just know it. Just like you and I know our heart's beating and I'm not telling it to. This is how narcissists are. It's their love language and it's manipulation 101. Here's one that so many parents have. You're remembering it wrong. That never happened. And then the actual translation is your reality's faulty. You don't remember things. And it causes deep doubt in the parents and fear that they're losing grip on what really happened. And they start to self-blame. Maybe I did misunderstand it. Maybe I, blah, blah, right? That's what happens. Um, Here's one that the narcissists say to almost everybody in some shape or form. These are not like stamped out of the actual words. These are the concepts, and they just twist anything around in it, right? So, um, I'm protecting my peace. And if you loved me, you'd understand that. Now, that could actually be your kid puppeting that back to you from the narcissist. Or it could actually be the narcissist saying they've got to protect their peace from you, the evil mother or father. And what it translates to is love means letting me erase you without question. If you really love me, you'll go freely and have a nice life. And the message is that it masks control as self-care, and puts the onus on the parents to disappear. So they're giving you this, I'm protecting myself. And if you loved me, I mean, of all the manipulations in the world, oh my God, if you love me, right? But that's what they do. All right. Got one more example because this is so important. It is the gateway to abuse. So if your child is manipulatable and gaslightable in the early stages, they've tested them 1,000 times with the lies and the what that didn't happen. If they fall for it, they will become victims to it. If they are strong, and I know a lot of people that would be like, no, and then I'm not taking this, and they would leave. But in a narcissistic control situation, they have literally, oh, I'm going to get out my dangling carrot. They have literally dangled the love to your child. If they don't perform, if they don't do what they're saying, you're going to have nobody. Or in some cases, you won't have your children. And there's all kinds of threats that come in here. All right, so here's the last one. And I'll bet you have heard this. You're too emotional, or maybe you're too dramatic, or you're so reactive. Once again, this is why I need space. This is why we need you to go away. And what it means is your pain is the problem, not our behavior. Your pain from our behavior is somehow the problem. And it gaslights the parents into silence and shame. They have a translation and they have an underneath message behind all of the gaslighting. So I hope that this helped you. This is kind of what I teach in my groups. We'll have 5 or 6 lessons like that in each of the weeks, and we'll understand what's happening, which helps relieve some of the pain and the burden that you're holding on yourself. So if you are interested in a group, I have them coming up every 6 weeks. Visit my website. I'll put a link down below. Visit my website and take a look at it. It is a small group of parents, husbands and wives, if there are a couple, wives and wives, if they are, that are struggling just like you. And as I educate in examples like we just learned, the light bulbs go off. When we talk about emotions, when we talk about self-blame, when we talk about all of the feelings and emotions that you're going through, we talk about what they really mean and what the narcissist is trying to get them to mean for you. So I hope this helped. Please visit my website, narcissistabusesupport.com, and poke around the blog. I have over 400 estrangement blogs that will help guide you, and you can get a whole education there. So also want to, I just saw it behind me. Oh, it's that way, isn't it? My book, Estranged by Lies, How Narcissistic Partners Use Power and Control to Destroy Your Family. You can find it on Amazon, and hopefully I'll get it on Barnes& and Noble this week. That's on my list. So I hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please subscribe. Please put a like on it. With the likes, and YouTube knows to give it to other parents who are struggling. So please, thank you.